In this figure, we're going to be taking a look at Princess Leia Organa in her iconic outfit from A New Hope. Arguably the most anticipated TVC figure of all time. Between her and like Farm Boy Luke and A New Hope Han. A lot of those iconic characters that so many of us have been wanting in our collections for many years now in their definitive forms. It's interesting that it's taken Hasbro this long to finally get out a lot of these main characters and their more iconic appearances. But the time has finally come. At the time of this video, we have Farm Boy Luke, A New Hope Han, and Ben Kenobi all pipelined in the TVC line as well. So I'm glad that Hasbro's finally getting around to it. So I don't think, besides the Black Series figure in the Figure Arts version, I never owned a 3 3/4 inch version of Leia in this outfit before. Even back in the day with the VOTC figure, I didn't think it looked that great back in 2004. And through the years, I've had plenty of opportunities to get it in hand, but I just never saw the need to, because I thought, well, there's plenty of better Leias out there, and I know Hasbro will eventually get around to this, so I'll hold off on it. I'm glad I did. I have nothing but great things to say about this action figure. It might very well be my favorite Leia that I have in my collection at this point. But before we take a closer look at the action figure here, we will look at her package. So I am expecting a few more versions of this figure through the mail at some point. It's just the first of a few. And a character like this I definitely want to keep carded. So that nice Star Wars iconic logo there. And as you can see, my card's a little damaged there, so I wasn't too heartbroken about opening this. Princess Leia Organa. I don't think that's the correct name pill from the original Kenner line, but that's okay. At least I don't think it was. I thought it was like Princess Leia and then maybe a different name in parentheses or something like that. I would have to go back and check. Nice image of Carrie Fisher's Leia there. I know a lot of people say probably the best looking appearance for Leia is in her slave outfit, but personally I'm a bigger fan of her appearance than this. I think she looks really good. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that would say the same. And the Kenner logo down here. The warning label did go down here, which is nice. Glad Hasbro didn't include it up there. It's a shame it has to be somewhere on this card in general anyway. I mean, at this point especially, TVC is clearly in an adult collector's line basically, and then the fact they have to put a warning label for kids 3 and under, it's like, there's the bubble there. Not much to say about the back. VC316. It's incredible we're all the way up to that now. And a little nice description for Leia there. Image of the figure. Of course, all the usual legal mumbo jumbo. But it's a very nice card. Hopefully, when I get the rest of them through the mail, they're in good condition to be able to hang up on a wall at some point. So I have to say, this action figure did not turn out exactly how I originally envisioned Hasbro would tackle this. I thought they would go all soft goods or a combination of plastic and soft goods. But they did all plastic for this, and it worked perfectly. So the head sculpt there is phenomenal. That looks exactly like Carrie Fisher, or pretty close to it. Some angles it's like, yeah, you know, it could be a little bit better, but other angles it's like, yeah, that's spot on. They did a very nice job with the face printing there. The eyes look good. Everything about is perfect. Rest of her ropes here, besides her arms, she's basically a traffic cone from the waist down, and that's okay. I mean, you can even, despite the plastic robe here, you can still get her in some nice poses. Some nice detailing, the appropriate folds, and nice drape. Looks really good. She looks very feminine, which is nice. Her belt is kind of hidden under her dress there. I think that's mostly to simulate like a drape over it. You can't really see it at all no matter how much you move her waist though. But that's okay. Interesting thing I'll note is under her robe here, they actually gave her pants. Most of the time, especially like the Black Series version, and even the Figure Arts one, and the Hot Toys one even. I do have all those now. It's just her boots, and then she doesn't really have any pants underneath. So it's interesting that Hasbro did it for this one. So we will go over the articulation first before the accessory. She does have a ball joint at the head, which has a really nice range of motion, even with her hood up. I suppose I'll just take this off now. Yeah, very good range of motion. Or it's probably on a barbell there, actually. And she does have a hinge at the shoulders, then hinged elbows, which go way past 90 degrees, which is nice. Now, I'm thinking she has swivel wrists, and I can understand why that is because of how small her wrists are. Don't really see a joint of any sorts. So swivel is perfectly fine. She does have a joint at the waist. You can't really get a whole lot out of it other than side to side though, but that's okay. Now she does have hinge tips, I think, but obviously with her ropes here, you're not going to get a lot out of that. I can't really tell if she has a swivel thigh of any sorts, and I don't really want to pry her robes up a whole lot more and potentially break it. But she does have hinge knees and then rocker ankles, I think. Yeah. So definitely the definitive articulation, I think, for this A New Hope Leia. So in terms of her accessories, she basically comes with all of her essentials. Her blaster here, we see her use to begin there on Tantive 4. It's very nice. She does hold it well in her hand, as you can see. Then she does come with an E11. She does have some nice silver detailing in that. Then she does have her hood that's draped over her head. And all you do is just put it around her neck there. It fits like a glove. She does have this peg in the back though, and that's for her hood draped over her back. This one doesn't have a peg though of any sorts, but it does a nice job concealing that. And you just plug it in here. It looks pretty good. Most of the time I'm probably going to be keeping her hood up because I think it's the best looking appearance for her. You can't get her to hold either blaster with two hands. You can't get her in that iconic pose where we see her about to blast the stormtrooper away on Tantive 4 though. You can't get her arms to really cross quite that much. So I will say, I'll bring out the Black Series and Figure Arts versions here. I think this TVC action figure is much more faithful to the Figure Arts version. I've had this one for, what, maybe 5 years now at this point? 5 or 6 years. And it's a very nice action figure as well. We'll do its own separate review at some point. But yeah, like I said, with the she doesn't have the pants underneath. And then here's the Black Series version, which a lot of people like to make fun of. Definitely has some room for improvement, but it's still a good figure. And you can see she doesn't have the pants there either. And it's entirely soft goods. And as I mentioned, I do have the Hot Toys version as well, which is, despite how great this action figure is, that is probably the definitive version of her, because that's spot on to the appearance of Carrie Fisher, and everything about that figure is great. And I'll be sure to do a video on that here soon. So would I recommend this TVC Leia for your collection? I totally would. It's a fantastic action figure. And I wouldn't sit on it for too long, because we're still in that time period where Hasbro seems to be cutting back on some of the production numbers. And some of the pre-orders I've had for this action figure have been kind of finicky. And because of that, that's why I got on eBay and went ahead and just paid a little bit extra and got this action figure, so I can guarantee having it in hand. Hopefully the pre-orders come through. For me, it still says August. So yes, this is the definitive A New Hope Leia. Glad to finally add her in my collection for a 3 3/4 inch scale. And I hope Hasbro continues this momentum of getting a lot of those iconic characters out in the TVC line. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some of the links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.